Oh shit! This is a good start. Welcome, hi, and hello. We are, back souls in it. You know, I was gonna check where we could buy a fire gem, but I forgot to. But I do have a suspicion, in that kind of equal and opposite way. Like, logically, if Targray sells us bolt stones and other faith-related items, maybe this guy... Maybe this guy who sells us, you know, fire stuff has some fire items on him.
Well, what are you?
He doesn't. It's Jover. There you go. I don't really need fire stones for the next area, or any area in particular, it's just I kind of want to grab them to make the synergy on flame weapons stronger. Because we went and, we already went and grabbed the stupid spell from that annoying fight, so we might as well make it useful. Okay, yeah, there's not any convenient place to get a fire drake stone from, so we're just gonna not worry about it, because, yeah, whatever. I mean, we can get it later, we'll have a point where we can. Anyways, so what we were doing, when we last left off, we were headed to the Shrine of Amana. Again, in the running for the worst area in this game, just because the encounter design here is some bullshit. I actually do want to go get myself equipped a bit better for it, now that I think about it. We go to, Drangleic for a bit and talk to the head guy in charge. I don't know why I said it like that. No, we talk to the ghost salesman because he sells lightning bolts and we could use those. Granted, it's a bit of a walk. Surprised those guys flinched to a one-handed curved sword attack, but hey. You know, these guys don't. Alright. Just trying to remember where, like, the actual front of this place is. There we go. Granted, the enemies are gonna run us down, so... Or not. Are they coming? Yeah. They're coming. So I actually learned a bit of new tech the other day, which I imagine is very old tech for people who like this game. Like, quite a bit.
Welcome, our guests. Tell me.
Yeah, we are going to... Oh, right, he also sells this stuff. I forgot. So in the... like, Big Gamer edition of this game, he sells you a bunch of funky looking items. I believe mechanically these are just like reskins or something of the sort. They're not overly interesting, but they do look special. But we're not really in the market for that. We are here. Bolts. That's, you know, I was gonna do like a thing where I got like 85 of these and then like 85 magic bolts, but like our crossbow is infused with lightning. That would probably be dog shit, so we're just gonna get magic arrows and lightning bolts. We do need to stock up more on bolts when we're someplace we can get them, like the normal ones. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of, Damn, that was some tracking you just did. Please. Dang, he is on the move. Alright, let's just, do that. Not bad souls payouts for here. Alright, 1,000 per these guys. Yeah, honestly, I think the funniest thing about the Shrine of Amana is that it's got one of the easiest bosses in the game. Just with some of the worst shit you have to play in the world, like, immediately preceding it. Tipped with aromatic ooze. Well, that just makes sense. If the magic bolt is tipped with the grease that makes things do magic damage. Alright. Yeah, the Shrine of Amana. It's somewhat unassuming. I don't know if this game has an equivalent of the red, like the rusty chain talisman. So there are two enemies, primarily. That's a good start. Strength and Tiny. There are primarily two types of enemies here. That was the first kind. Also watch your step because, you know, rocks, fine. Not rocks. Immediate plunge into the abyss. John's souls cannot swim. So, there's these guys. Yeah, so there's three enemies that are unique to this area. There are those guys who are pretty simple, but they come in decent numbers and they lurk on the ground, so they can be somewhat annoying to hit. There are those, I believe they're priests, that wield the shield and the halberd. It seems like a halberd, even by the way they swing it. And then there's the priestesses. Just going based on logic, the more feminine enemies are probably priestesses. Alright, what do we grab here? Skeptic Spice, Wilt the Dusk Herb, yeah, whatever. Next time we roast at a bonfire, we should switch to our lightning spells, though, because fire probably ain't it here. Also just have our, I don't know, want the Hide Knight sword on hand? Oh, wait, no, I know what weapon I want to use. Also, I found out something about the way rolling works in this game, because last time I was confused why I seem to be rolling farther. It is apparently, also it's gonna bug the shit out of me, like we're min-maxed it just to be like slightly worse than we could be. So according to the pro gamers, being under 50 is probably going to get you the best rolls. Because the only thing that matters, it's like every increment of 10%, like every, 10% equip load, you are, that's a good sign that that whiffs. Yeah, the spear might be ass cheeks here. Unless we do that, which is a little bit of a hassle to do in the heat of the moment. Yeah, these guys, that's one type of enemy. These are the other. Oh yeah, because I didn't finish that thought. If there was some version of the rusty chain item which lets you move at normal speed, even though you're like, that tracking was weird. Even though you're in water, that would be nice, but that does not seem to be something that exists. This is the most use I've gotten out of this dumbass plunging attack, though. Alright.
We knew you were coming, and stopped singing. We are Milfanito. We are here to sing to those bound by death and dark. We will sing here, forever. As we always have, from long, long ago. We know nothing of the world outside, and why should we? For we will never leave. Do you seek but what is a king? We know nothing of, for we will never. When we sing, the little ones grant comfort. This is there any, perhaps this, when we sing, the...
Alright. Not quite sure about, like, the extended lore of what they're talking about, but yeah. The Milfanito were apparently something made by, for, on the orders of, Nito, hence the name Milfanito. You know, Milfanito's sharing part of Nito is not. We've got human effigies, like, so many of these. Yeah, all they do is they sing to the dead and grant them peace, which retroactively added some kindness to the character of Nito, because before the only thing Nito cared about was spreading the miasma of death across the world, but him actually caring for his subjects makes him a bit softer, adds another layer to him. Archdrake gloves. Yeah, they're Archdrake something or another's. But yeah, the thing I was gonna mention about rolling is, yeah, the rolling works on a basis of every 10% you roll, like 10% lighter, you roll a little farther. Some people say that, like, the most efficient weight to be under is under 50 for, like, good rolls. Like, good enough rolls, just mathematically efficient, but if you want even farther rolls, you can do that if you desire. I just got back from playing Comp League with my friends. I'm gonna be honest, I understand that I can be talkative, but, like, sometimes they're just a lot. Also, I get so annoyed at that game. I'm back on the phase where, like, I'm just miserable when I play it. Versus, like, you know, sometimes I'm happy and then I'm sad, but, like, now I just think my mood's too poor when I play it, so I should probably just, like, drop it for a while. Anyways, these are the other core enemies of this area. So they're kind of annoying. They're the reason why this area sucks so much ass. Just judicious use of this enemy ensures that you will not have fun while exploring this area. They are frequent. They are really yeah, they're frequent and they are very annoying. Okay, that does not do much damage. That is not worth the durability loss. Okay, how'd that hit exactly? At least the tracking on that's really good. Hang on. We got a live one. I'm sure the main purpose of this heavy attack is that, like, the projectile is a compensation if you miss, like, the actual stab, but to get real fat damage, you want to hit both parts. Oh, right. I forgot about the Ancient Knight. I've done this segment so many times, but yeah. This Ancient Knight's kind of an aberration. He's, like, the only one of his ilk here. One of the enemies in the genre of, like, not that hard, really, but did it just fucking bounce off of him? No, it bounced off the wall behind him. Okay, yep. It's just a bad, bad fucking moment for the spear. Yep. Alright, the spear's worn out, it's welcome. It might be actually good for some things, but right now it is not up to snuff. I believe we skipped a bonfire, because when I remember replaying this area, I remember having, like, a very short amount of time. But anyways, yeah, here's why this shit's annoying. Okay, can we equip the sword? Yep, right when we kill another one of them, we've just moved from getting assaulted at range by one of these Archdrake priestesses to another, to another, to another. It is the worst part of this area. It's the worst part of... It's the reason why I consider it a particular, like, low point of the game. Like, it's just obnoxious. This area is frustrating and not satisfying at all to play. Yep, we're gonna need this. Gonna reset the assists and try again. So, what I advise for you is that you have a good, nice ranged out. Oh wait, we need to reattune spells too. And if only we could buy more bolts. Okay, let's equip our chime. I forgot about that one over there. So if you want like a safer way to do this instead of just going from getting like ping pong in between getting shot by different ones, you can always like get your nice ranged weapon out and then why could we not lock onto him? Get your nice ranged weapon out and just shoot the ranged attacking mages from a distance. Just constantly duck behind walls, get into a rhythm of attacking between their attacks, and I honestly think that's probably one of the better ways to handle the annoyance of this area. We're gonna burn some life gems here, but, you know, we can buy them infinitely back in Majula, so it's not really that big of a deal. Yep, again, so we don't have to deal with the magic, just pull the enemy out. But yeah, the constant harassing with magic projectiles while you have very little move in the way of movement, the fact that there's these enemies that just exist to trip you up while you're slowly trudging through all of this fucking mire. It's a little ass. Again, I don't say least favorite area for no reason. It's just not fun. Like, even if you get this area down to like where it's not much of a hassle, nothing about this is fun. Contrary to popular belief, the worst part of poison swamp levels in Souls games isn't the poison. It's the fact that you can't move. Your movement being shit, I think, is way more offensive, because it completely changes the flow of the game. Also, damn it, I thought he was just backing off and he didn't want to fight, but... Alright. He's being annoying. Let's just gat him down. Also, you saw from that, he does have a bit of a hustle if you're zoning him too hard. But yeah, like that right there. Like what is that animated like encounter design? Yep, and then we timed that wrong, so we got punished. But yeah, this is why a nice ranged option is appreciated. Because again, there are some areas where it's not a big deal, and you're only getting shot at by one at a time. But there are areas where it very much is a big deal, and you're getting shot at by a lot of them all at once. We have 2 fire seeds in our inventory. I could have sworn we got another one at some point. Does it go into upgrade materials? Yeah, we have 2 fire seeds. We're actually pretty close, yeah, to maxing out our pyromancy flame. Pyromancy's having no requirements is nice. There we go. Oh, yep, 2 of them in deep water right next to each other. I wonder what they could want from us here. Yeah. I greeted for that shot. I should have known I wasn't prepared in time to dodge. But yeah, the reason why the lightning crossbow with lightning bolts is nice for this is, you know, we're in water. We're going to be constantly submerged in this area. The ability to just do a lot of lightning damage. Kinda nice. What did we come out this way for? Crimson water and an Estus flash shard. Alright. I was gonna complain about it not being worth it, but then it became worth it. And there's even more. Sunlight blade. Hey! We did it, everybody. We got the spell. This is actually huge. It takes 36 faith to use. Wow. I thought it took less. Alright, well. We're gonna have to level up before we can even use that thing. But that will be a big boost to our overall damage. Though 1 use is a little, like... Try a woman left. 1 use is a little... stingy, I would say. And just keep your eye on the ground so you don't walk off into a death plane. There's a door that doesn't open over there, which is the reason why we're not going over there. And more. More roaming. I believe this next encounter is one I consider particularly bad. Oh, good. I don't like losing Forlorn Roulette. What is that one using? The only good thing I can say about the Forlorn in this area is at least we're equally inconvenienced by all of this. The Reaper moveset in this game is kind of clunky and weird, for the record. I don't know why I called it a Reaper. I think Scythe is a much more natural name. I have no idea why Elden Ring changed the weapon class to Reaper after it was Scythe. Also, damn. It's 1 bet. Ah, shit. There's not actually much here for us. Damn, does not do much. Are they blocking that, or why is that doing, like, nothing? There we go. Like, yeah, the random forlorn encounter kind of sucks. Well, the lightning scimitar isn't even, like, that fragile of a weapon. We may need to actually start carrying repair powders on us. Because that is... we're breaking stuff crazy fast. High Knight Sword or the Axe? I probably want something we can use in one hand, so... yeah, I don't know how much damage we're really gonna get from the lightning, so we'll use the falchion for now. I remember these guys having more annoying movesets though, but maybe they're only made annoying by the context that surrounds them occasionally. Case in point, more lady. I'm gonna compensate for the drop. What? Okay, let's get rid of him then. What is the path he is taking? He's strafing. Whatever. Him. Got their cool shield. Yeah, this is the only reason why I think these knight guys like are even a little bit threatening. Okay. That and apparently just the stankiest lingering hitbox you've seen in your life. What the fuck was that? We have more priestesses. Get her out of here. Alright. There we go. Let's crack some more life gems while we're at it. Again, just saving our Estus for later, so we ideally don't have to run through this area more than once. Life ring +2 and a singer's dress. Singer's dress. Why can I not read? The life ring's nice. The dress is... it's drip if you want it. So if you think it's over when you reach that point, you'd be wrong. Oh, yeah. Okay, at least the... so that was really cool, right? It's super sick how they're getting healed by... okay. That lingering hitbox is going wild. Twinkling Titanite. Yep. Yeah, fighting them while they're being healed is less than fun. A very delicate stance that that lady had adopted. Granted, she is the healer, so... Not really known for their combat stance. More Crimson Water. Honestly, maybe it's a sign. Maybe they expect you to use the Crimson Water to heal in this area. I don't know. Alluring Skull. Don't know why those are here. Don't really know what those could be useful for. But hey, it's an option. Alright, so we're not at the boss yet. Not even close, really. We have to fight these little guys. I actually like the Falchions moveset. I wish there was a curved sword without Bleed that have it. But hey, we're at a halfway point. So honestly, using those life gems at the end was a bit of a waste, but hey. Felicia the Brave. Felicia the Brave is kind of an infamous summon. Again, talking about old community memes, Felicia the fucking Strong was a thing. The reason Felicia is malaligned in such a way is, well, equally loved and hated for the fact that she just runs in and just goes sicko mode. She will probably get overwhelmed and die. But man, it's kind of cool that she just goes for it. Speaking of getting overwhelmed and dying, this is why. Look at this encounter in this room. We are nearly done though, like... Alright. Also, I don't know why our lock-on just isn't fucking functioning. Like, the enemies are not that far away, yet we can't lock onto them for some reason. Okay, the game turns into a first-person shooter in this segment, if you want to play it, like, safe. Okay, doesn't even matter that she's being actively fucking... No, put that hole there. It doesn't matter that she was actively being shot. Her heal is just that fast, I suppose. And now these guys are in the way again. I think you can just, like... Nope, not really. I thought you could just, like, blitz through them, but nope. He just broke our armor in, like, record speed. Alright, let's just handle them with Emit Force then. The spell's not that useful, so might as well just kind of get it out of our system. Don't know what damage type Emit Force does. I assume it's not lightning, despite miracles only being associated with lightning, because, like... If it was lightning, why is it so... bad? Well, it doesn't do, like, some of the things that lightning does, is more what I'm getting at. Like that AoE splash thing that lightning does specifically. Yeah, this encounter right here is probably the worst in the area. This is the thing that's bad about this zone. Granted, there's been a lot of not fun up until this point, but like... This is worth hating the area over. Damn, I can't fucking... There you go. So shooting the healer won't work, so we're probably just gonna have to pull out the guys. Get back here, asshole. What are you running from? Alright, let's go around the full perimeter so we can go take out that other ranged lady. Should be easy enough to do because she doesn't have another one playing cover for her. You have to just chop him up. I will say that, again, a nice thing that the game does is at least the enemies that hide in the shallow water have, like, the stupid fireflies over them, so they're not a complete, like, Where's Waldo-esque situation. Alright, we did it. We mitigated the encounter without much issue. Red Iron Twin Blade. That's a good Twin Blade if you want to build strength. Homing Crystal Soul Mass. Yeah, it's not really our speed. Twinkling Titanite. Alright, that's progression over there. Also, yeah, just in case you thought that it was over, there is a mandatory invade here. This isn't like a forlorn situation. Oh yeah, and they use Crystal Soul Spear, which, by the way, hits like a fucking freight train. Just stay on them, because the worst thing that can happen is that they gain the ability to actually use their spells. That spell, Dark Bead, was like really fucked up in the first game. I think it's substantially nerfed, but still, it is a kind of a shotgun spell. So, you know, you don't want to ever be hit by that. Also, what do I recommend doing on a pure melee run of this game in this area? Don't do that. So here's the thing. I think a lot of the reasons why I was so mad at Dark Souls 2, like, I was getting frustrated with the Lost Sinner refight because of the stupid ads, but even then they weren't that bad. But I think the reason I didn't like this game as like nearly as much as the others when I first played it is because I don't think you're supposed to play this game pure melee. I think it's one of the most frustrating experiences to not have solutions to some of these problems. It's why I recommend every build pick up a crossbow, because you can make them pretty good tools on basically any build. And like, I know there's some builds where like getting the strength to use one is a little annoying, but still, like, just have a ranged weapon. It makes a world of difference. Anyways, this isn't Milfanito. She's just a little, like, you know, raggedy. I think we have peacefully transported her to her destination. Anyways. Yep, so now the boss of this area. Let's talk about really good visual design. The Demon of Song, this weird foreskin frog with a dude in it. He looks like a nutsack. No, but he is actually an interesting looking God damn. Why is he hit so hard? Alright, I played that very poorly. So you know what the cool thing about the Demon, you know, he isn't that hard, but I did just, like, immediately cock that up. So I'll take the L on that one. That was just, like, the maximum amount of punishment for impatience I could possibly suffer. Let's just magic our way out of the situation. Yeah, the demon is a fight that's more, I guess. Again, it kills you with the impatience. You can't hit him when he's in a nutstick. You have to hit him when his arms are out. So it's a lot of waiting for the optimal timing. So the biggest issue with the demon, and it's the thing that like might get into your head and trip you up. Why does locking on just not want to fucking work in this area? It is driving me crazy. How like lock on has a pretty good range, except here where it just stops working. Let's see how much of this encounter we can run past, because I don't quite remember. Okay, the good news is, yeah, at least it's not that hard to just gun it for the boss fight. So, you know, a good chunk of that encounter is completely mitigatable on refights. But yeah, this area is just a slog, mostly because of the water. Alright. Let's do this again. Also, yeah, the Demon of Song can mimic the Milfanito's singing, which is what it's doing there. That's why it stops once the, like, boss music kicks in. Wow, that does very little. It's actually a big chunk of his health bar, it's just, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot him because it's kind of a hassle to wait for him to... Damn. Ouch, ouch. I was expecting the happy slaps move, so the grab kind of got me off guard. Dodge the... Oh, this is his most punishable attack, though. If he does this, it's free real estate, baby. Alright. Just kind of watch what he's doing. Yeah, run back from that. But yeah, if you stay at mid-range, he doesn't have a quick threat for you. Just, you know, work smarter, not harder. Fight him slowly, patiently, and then he's kind of nothing. The only way he gets you is if you just don't fight him correctly, so to speak, because, like, fighting him this way with, like, taking a very slow, methodical pace to it's like, what threat could he possibly pose to us? As long as we bait the attack and then walk to this range, he can't hit us with anything. And except for his slow-ass lunge. But guess what? If he does his slow-ass lunge, we can just move even further. But yeah, that's why he's so easy. He has taken me out before again. You saw how it happened before. I kind of forgot what I was supposed to be doing, and then just immediately rushed him, and then got hit. Key to the Entombed. That's an interesting one. We'll whip it out real fast. It does have the one-handed poke, which is nice. One-handed poke is my favorite heavy attack. Unfortunately, you lose it in two hands. Main reason I would recommend getting enough strength to one-hand greatswords is for that nice poke. Anyways, this is a non-upgradable greatsword. It's the Keyblade. Not being upgradable means that its ceiling is incredibly low. But, it does mean we can use it for a little bit and be funny. This is the key to that weird, gimp guy that was attached, like, to a cage. This is how you're supposed to, circumvent that little issue. But yeah, honestly, for what it's worth, Damage isn't that bad. I had a build that was focused on using great swords because I think they're pretty neat in this game if you can one-hand them. I was talking about like the main weapon-centric builds I've done for this game. One was a lot of was using curved great swords as its main thing, and another run where I used like just great swords. Obviously, I like upgrade side weapons to use for different scenarios, but you wouldn't call this run a fire longsword run, even when we use it. It is a shame that this sword isn't like upgradable and therefore not viable for long-term use. It gets used up when you place it into the keyhole, so to speak. Aldia, fuck off. What do you want? I do like Aldia's voice a whole lot. Yeah, speaking of one lost his body, we forgot to ever report back to Vengrarl that we took out his body. First game lore. And one of my buddies now started playing Dark Souls 2. Doesn't matter what you say. Yeah, so what he got at there was the first sin. He kind of was getting at it. Something very explicitly revealed in Dark Souls 3, but this right here. Dark Sign induces death, returning the fire. An accursed mark. The Dark Sign is the mark of the undead. Does look breakable, I'll say. Is the mark of the undead. You know, it's the brand of someone who is cursed with undeath. Why is that relevant? Well, it's not natural. The undead curse specifically came about due to Gwyn's meddling. Out of fear of humanity, he burnt the Dark Sign into man. It is supposed to restrain humanity, meaning the undead curse, all things fading to rot, it was his fault. Which, you know, very classic mythology. He met his fate trying to avoid it with everything he had. You can say a lot of things about him, but he is nothing if not persistent. Soon, she will sell us more rocks. Soon.
No.
Alright, so right now, I think our focus stat-wise should be gaining getting the faith to use Sunlight Blade. Which we are a ways off of still. That might be enough, actually. Oh wait, no, we're at the point where it's way over. Just 1,000. Also, yeah, our lightning damage is finally higher than our fire damage. Yay! Everyone give it a round of applause. We are now officially can say that the build is faith-based. It's lightning-based, baby. Alright, we're gonna still come up short, and we can't sell anything to anyone here. No one here will buy stuff off of us. We just... Where did we get this? Do I use it? Yeah. And given the nature of this game, it's not that big of a deal. It's extra not big of a deal, given that we're never using any of the weapons that gives us. It always feels bad, but again, it's most justifiable in this game out of all of them, because you can just not worry about it. Well, specifically, you can just refight the bosses to get the souls. It's not a issue. Oh, what was it? And now we can cast Sunlight Blade, and that's pretty huge. Just take rid of it. Get rid of that, put on this. I'm sad that, like, why does this have so many uses, but this one gets fucking one? Like, we really... Like, we gotta do all of our work on a boss in one go. Granted, I believe you can buy more Sunlight Blades, so buying 2 should at least settle the issue. But for now, let's go back to Drangleic and use this key. As for what I think this game's got one more stream in it because the next, like, yeah. Because I think if I play anything tomorrow, it'll probably be Hades. And I probably won't stream at all tomorrow. Again, maybe. But if I do stream tomorrow, it won't be this. This game has one long stream in it, as we're gonna cover a lot of the in-game and the DLC. Because we've got a couple hours before I have to shove off. And we can probably accomplish a decent chunk in that amount of time. And just get that in there, shove that in you. And now we have lost our cool sword, unfortunately. Go back to using a normal cool sword. Ring of the Dead, that does something kind of neat. Something kind of cool. I can't remember. Wear a finished human even when hollow. Alright, never mind. It's not that neat. That's a ring I definitely would wear. And Anyways, Ringa definitely would wear in Dark Souls 3, but I think that's just because like ring usage is less tight here. I don't know. I kind of really like every ring we're using right now. But yeah, I believe after saving those two, Milf and Nito, we can go back to the Shrine of Amana. Which, yeah, that's a bit of an ask for me, but we will do it. We must. And today is one of those days where I'm feeling kind of tired. I don't know if I'd call it early to take a nap, though. I can just call it like 30 minutes early so I can lay down a little bit. But that's a while off still. Again, depends on how much is accomplished. I'll say one thing for the spear, at least it two-shot these guys. Alright, there's a chest there. We didn't even mess with it. Crimson water.
We hear a song. You rescued a milk. Take this. You they may be when we spill it.
Alright, is that it? Could there be another one I'm forgetting? But like Divine Blessings feel kind of mediocre as like a side quest reward. The other thing I want to mention about Demon of Song, I don't remember if it was specifically called a demon in the Japanese version, but demon has like very strong connotations in Dark Souls 1 and 3. So it is really weird for that thing to be labeled demon when it has like absolutely nothing to do with any other demon in the series. Like the closest thing we could say is that it was animalistic, but like having no connection to fire is really out there. Also, I don't think we'll be needing our crossbow for this area. Granted, this is one of the most annoying little enemy arrangements. These door enemies kind of suck. This area is very long feeling. Also, these enemies can hit like a truck. Alright. Are you, why are they so tanky, too? Wizards. Better everything casters, they can use pyromancies, miracles, hexes, and presumably sorceries, but we didn't see a sorcery, so... And I can't remember if they do, like, if they cast a sorcery, I don't remember what it is, but still. Hex, Miracle, and Pyromancy covers a lot of bases. So just assume that they can cast literally every type of magic. They are bizarrely tough. Alright, this guy.
Human, do not produce light. Light, and all those who bear it, are unwelcome in this place.
Get used to hearing that if you die in this area.
I am Ugdane,
Ogdane.
of the crypt. Countless dead rest here in peace.
Sometimes I forget how to say characters' names.
By the comfort of light. Only, I am a finito.
His armor is cool. I do like his armor.
To watch over the dead. This task was granted to me by the one who gave us the first death. Countless souls rest here. Some were rich, others. Did you come for him? You will find him deeper inside. Many castle servants and the like have come to fetch their lord, but they rest here now. Put to death by the king's own guards. Perhaps he's not in the mood for company. In the past, the former king of light, he feared humans. Feared that they would usher in
Lore drop, lore drop.
How queer you humans. How you go on, never separating truth from fiction. This place is welcome to all. Death is equitable, accepting. We will all one day be welcomed by her embrace. Tell me what you desire.
Yep, so we can now buy stuff on him. Bring counterattacks when damage is taken. That's probably not good. We can now buy some dark arrows, which we'll wait on that actually, but okay, a good chunk of human effigy is a good chunk of things. The warmth pyromancy, which is nice. Soul appease, which is kind of whatever. We'll buy warmth and we'll invest the rest into getting some dark arrows in case we ever need them. Again, I don't know anything in particular that's weak to dark. It's kind of hard to look at an enemy and go, yeah, this one's going to take damage from dark. Anyways, if you don't heed his warning and you light a torch in here, you just get jumped. So don't do that. This area is decently tough. Also, why would you be... Oh yeah, and definitely do not light the torch sconces, because that just spawns more, like, that just spawns bad shit to kick your ass. Let's silver cat ring and then go down here, because we can't grab a ladder from a side. Don't be foolish. Simpleton Spice and Soul of a Great Hero. The spices. The only thing I could think of to, again, utility magic, lower the... Ouch. That's a bit of a dick move. Yeah, take a utility spell, lower the requirement of it, call it a day. If we weren't... Wow, another fire seed. We're only one more fire seed away from having maxed out pyromancies, but I was gonna say, let's say we wanted to cast Repair or Chameleon for some reason, we could Simpleton Spice them down. Only problem is, I don't really know what spell... Like, I don't know what casting catalyst could be used. Okay, the entire thing you want to do in this area is get this shortcut open, because that makes everything so much easier. You'll know once you get, like, are on that side of the area and pull that lever, you've made it. You're done. The adventure's over. Well, at least the crypt adventure. Soul Vessel can respec, but again, I don't really see us wanting to respec. Our build's solid enough. We have a desirable amount of adaptability. Our health is fine. We don't use that much heavy equipment, so we don't need that much vitality. Also, here's a fun fact. I've gone multiple playthroughs this area not finding this bonfire, so shoutouts that message which said bonfire but down. I didn't like necessarily believe it because I was like, I don't remember being a bonfire here, but that's huge. Alright, so this area has a unique gimmick. It sucks ass. Those undead will try, they will spawn, alright? And they have one mission. Get to those tombs and hit them. You do not hit them. You don't want them to hit them. If they hit them, they spawn ghosts, which are very, very threatening. Like, the scariest enemies here are the things that spawn from hitting those. Actually, it's not that they try and hit the statues themselves. I think they try and hit that bell. If they ring the bell icon and they turn on notifications, your ass is grass and you're probably better off just going to a bonfire and starting over. It is, like, the constant harassment from these strong-ass ghost enemies is a very strong disincentive. Just don't mess with it. Yeah, that's why I'm being kind of cautious with the way I swing my weapon here, so I can also avoid ringing the bell and turning on notifications and smashing that like button. Just do none of those things while you're here. And again, make sure that these guys stay very dead. For a second I forgot about the partisans, like, wide ass swing. Did it happen? Oh no, it's just one of you. I don't know if their spells can trigger it, but... Oh shit. Well, I fucked up. Let's go back to the bonfire. Yeah, as you can see, the ghosts are not bothered by terrain. I guess we'll fight the one just to show it off. Ouch. But yeah, they're... The main thing is just, if a lot of the ghosts become active at once, they are, again, they float through the terrain. We can't do that. Actually, if they don't continue to respawn, we might be fine. Never mind. But yeah, the ghosts can float through terrain and just beat the piss out of you. So just don't engage. Let's just try the old out of... Ow. Where? Try the old out of sight, out of mind approach to it. Maybe we're so far away, they won't come get us. Ah, shit. Let's just give him that old maneuver. Alright, let's try and tease these guys out of just holding down back on us. There we go. I remember that being more annoying than that fight was, but maybe I'm just an impatient asshole. Same shtick. Keep this guy from getting to Bell. If the bell does get rung and then you walk into one of these one of the dead ends, worst case scenario for you there, because you're probably fucked. Well, this is a bit bad. Wait a second, are we here? Did we make it? Nice, okay. Yeah, so there is more exploring we can do, but we have unlocked the core shortcut, so now I fear death. Marginally less. By marginally less, I mean like a whole lot less. That's actually huge for us. Mace of the Insolent. That has like... Mace of the Insolent has like really weird... Fuck, okay. Ambro, I did not know it was that serious. Holy shit. Okay, well, that's cool. Now I'm glad they can ring their own bell. Again, I will to compliment Dark Souls 2 here for a second. I will say this, like the bell ringing idea is interesting and neat, and it's not something that gets done anywhere else. It's just, is it good? Is just because it makes the area more memorable, does that make the area better? I mean, it's up to you to say. Personally, while I think it's novel, again, I've made it very clear that I think the greatest strength and weakness of Dark Souls 2 is it goes for novelty real hard. It does stuff no other games in the series do, but then also makes it very easy to tell why they don't do that. Again, innovation requires risk. So, again, I don't consider like DS2 a mistake or anything. Even when I don't like it, even when there are moments that I'm not a fan of, I don't get like the vitriolic hate. I don't even think I've seen that much hate for DS2. Honestly, I feel like DS2 is in this place where like it's getting glazed more often than not nowadays. Real talk, I cannot remember the last time I've seen someone say they dislike this game, like notably. Like aside from someone who doesn't like Dark Souls in general. Oh, that's bad. I'm gonna say it. I don't think there's anything more in there for us. And if there is, it's not worth it. Let's just rest and move on to the old boss fight portion. Also, soon we're going to gain the ability to buy Titanite chunks, and that's going to be exciting. We can finally start upgrading our weapons that haven't been upgraded in fucking ages. Part of me feels like there's some area like where we can drop down to, but it doesn't look like it's there if it is. Alright, this big ass room, that is the boss door over there. So this room sucks. Oh, motherfucker. Yeah, this room is has a bunch of dirty tricks. It's got that guy back there who, if you walk past a certain point, he'll just ring the bell, like unbeknownst to you that he exists. There's the one prisoner on the left who exists to ring the bell. The main issue here with this run back to a boss fight is you get to a certain point and everybody's mad at you. So you have to stay on the side, otherwise you're gonna have to deal with the ghost too. In addition to a Dragon Slayer armor and Sen's Knights. As you can see, I'm having a wonderful time of it already. Oh, fucking true comboed the shit out of me. Cool. We love to see it. Alright. It's time to use a very precise weapon to solve my problem. The Partisan, I do quite like it, but it was swinging, like, it's kind of fucking fat and chunky. So it was hitting the bell. Like, it hit the bell when I was just trying to hit that hollow prisoner. I think the stab of the longsword will probably be smaller. I said the stab of the longsword. Yeah, forgot that one-handed, it's a sweep. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other prisoners around this room. I think we got the two. Why are they here? I didn't hear a bell. Yeah, seriously, why are they spawning? What bell got wrong? Will they drop stuff? At least they're not that hard to beat, aren't they? Yeah, So what fucking bell got wrong? Where are you coming from? What is the point of the bell mechanic if there's gonna be no one ringing the bell and they're just gonna fucking show up? I refuse to believe the bells in that room count for the fucking area clear ahead of it. Alright, let's kill this guy and then just... Okay, let's go camp the bell to see if just another guy shows up. Oh, good. Okay, does he fucking respawn infinitely? Because if so, that's bullshit. Like, that's not a puzzle. That's nothing. If you can't defuse the situation at all, why even... Well, you just spawn the enemies. Clearly you want to just spawn the ghosts. Dark Souls 2. Again, this is an instance of, like, conceptually cool, but, like, the infinitely respawning prisoners kind of defeats the fucking purpose of it all. Like, why are we even here? If that's gonna be how this works. I'm hoping that, like, maybe I can just aggro him. Yeah. If he comes after me, he won't ever hit the bell, so let's just have him follow us. And then if he doesn't die, he can't respawn. So maybe this is the puzzle. No, 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 no. No, where are you going? Maybe we just have to kill multiples? Maybe eventually they'll stop coming out of the ground? Or maybe this is why we were given alluring skulls before we got here? I don't know. Let's see how long it takes for another one to show up. Maybe that is it. Maybe it's just a second Be Wary of Trio. Maybe it is just there's a second one that spawns and that's the trick. Okay, I'd be less mad if it's not an infinite fucking spawning situation. I do think that if the bell on this floor rings, you should be able to hear it regardless of distance, though. Because I think it was needlessly confusing that happened the way that... Honestly, we haven't used our bow in a while. Let's whip it out. There are better bows. We could have had some for like ages, but... I'm hoping that they just like swing at the same time and therefore like miss. There we go. Okay, now that I know about the respawn trick, I'm less mad. It's a dirty trick, but hey, that's more like reasonable. All right. Honestly though, because I've never dealt with the ghost situation, I don't think I've ever... I might have? I don't recall ever beating this guy because he's just kind of in an annoying spot. Normally just kind of circumvent him. Alright. Let's take 2 sips for the road. We got a fight coming up that's interesting. And we got all these chests to open. I actually have 2 fights, one that's interesting and one that is the opposite of that. Fragrant branch of yore. Man, where can we even use more of these? I haven't seen a petrified guy in ages. 15 poison throwing knives. Is the boss weak to poison? Dark Knight Stone. The boss uses dark, so I assume he's not weak to dark. Didn't remember him getting a cutscene. The last guard before the King Vendrick. Velstout and his bell. So Velstout is actually a pretty tough opponent. I think he's got multiple decently tricky attacks. That is a lingering hitbox like a motherfucker there, though. Like, his swing was done for ages and that shit hit me. Still, with Sunlight Blade and a lightning weapon, we are now on a way better thing. So that is a buff for him, but it ends in a... Oh wait. I believe that there's like a AoE component where he like bursts that, but yeah, he buffs his damage and his tankiness. quite a bit with that little technique. But I'm pretty sure you're supposed to back off. Also, our sunlight blade's out. So now we're doing even less damage. And his defense is up and our damage down. We really need more cast of Sunlight Blade, I'm gonna say it. Alright. Watch, yeah. Check out that fat fucking chunk he did to us. Yeah, he's a decently tough boss. He's not... Ouch. Not a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's doing a sick-ass AoE attack. Alright, well, that fucking hurt. But not enough. Bellstomp can give you a cool buffing spell from his soul. Oh yeah, also, I feel like I didn't hype that up enough. Let's go meet the king and, you know, in anticipation for what we might be about to see. Yeah, this is, this him. So Vendrick. If we can hit him, we can actually start the boss fight. Vendrick is not supposed to be fought at this point. Also, I don't know when he hollowed out as far as lore goes, but it just matters that he did. You can beat Vendrick with a lot of perseverance. He's got a gimmick to him, and that gimmick is not overly apparent. But we're gonna try and like fuck with him a bit, because again, it is technically possible. Also, I've never put like bleed on a weapon. It's kind of weird that it just looks like muted fire. So as you can see, we haven't done much damage to him. We're doing very, very little damage. The gimmick with Vendrick is that, remember the giant soul in our inventory? That. Without the giant soul, like with every giant soul that you get, or is it not giant soul, or it's like memory of a giant? Well, I'll look at it when we... also make sure that I put on my Clarianthe ring. Yeah, he hits like a fucking freighter. He has a very simple moveset, but like impatience will kill you. Okay, it is Soul of a Giant. He has just an innate like damage divider applied to you. When you fight him, you're just doing like a fraction of the damage that you should be doing. You need the Souls of the Giants to lower it. There is one source of damage that he takes normal, like a normal amount from, and it's blood loss. If you want to do a little bit of a cheeky sequence break, you can use a very, very high blood loss weapon and just slowly chip at him. But I'll be honest, it's a pain in the ass. Like, even if you have like really efficient bleed does not do a lot of damage.
This ring is the symbol of the king. Use it to gain passage through the king's gate and venture to the far east, bearer of the curse. Then one day you will walk those grounds without really knowing why.
But yeah, so Vendrick being hollowed, it's a very obvious visual callback to the fate of Gwyn in the first game, being a once mighty monarch brought low by their circumstance. Granted, it takes on a different tone depending on them. Gwyn's burnt out state, being seared by the first flame was very deliberate. It was tragedy. It was self-sacrifice. Actually, I believe we can go talk to Agadine and maybe get his sword. We should check that. But yeah, it was self-sacrifice. It was tragedy. In a way that he brought himself low. Vendrick's fate is also a tragedy, but it doesn't serve a great purpose. It's just sad. It's just hollow to see a once great man brought low.
What?
Yeah, let's buy some shit off of him. I don't remember if he's one of those guys who gives you his thing if you buy stuff off him or not, but just in case, let's...
You have met the life is never easy,
Oh, there we go.
never fair. Even more so on this path you've chosen. May you find your peace one day. Take these with you.
Yep, we got his stuff. I was like, because the loading screen mentioned Dark Drift, and I was like, oh yeah, right, Dark Drift. I don't think Dark Drift is a particularly notable katana. I think it's just kind of... Oh, it's got the funny art too, you know, it's got that going for it. I do like this animation, like that weird, like, grab the blade and then smash down. It's on a pretty good sword in DS3 that I'll be very tempted to use. But other than that, it is just kind of the Uchigatana moveset. I think it just trends to be weaker. No matter what you infuse on it, it's just got worse damage. With the trade-off being, it's got the shield piercing heavy, which means it's kind of useful on certain enemies, but I don't think there's a single boss in the game that uses a shield from this point forward, so it's just kind of good at beating random normal enemies, and you can take it into PvP. However, we have just now cleared a big milestone with the with that fight out of the way. Oh, he actually sells. Okay, that's cool. Anyways, with that fight out of the way, everyone's inventory should update. Granted, it doesn't seem like his did. And we got Velstealth stuff now. Buy the helmet's important for something funny.
Thanks for the purchase.
Most notably, I believe her inventory updates now that we've been there. Yes, we can now buy 10 chunks. A bit of a disappointment given that we need 6 for one upgrade. She also sells a limited amount of every other kind of rock. Means we can finally get fire drake stones from someplace. So, let's see if Rosabeth has updated it all as well. Nope, nothing new here.
I'm always here.
Alright, yeah, fix that. Yeah, with our chunks, we can now get a second thing fully upgraded, which is... With the ability to buy chunks, we can get something else upgraded fully. Is nice. I believe finishing the Undead Crypt was also a trigger for her to start selling us something we might want. The what? When did we get this?
You must have a what of one.
Yep, there we go. She now starts selling her miracles in abundance. Of these and have our whole slots filled with them. And even then, we're barely gonna have that many.
May the pack offer your.
I'll be honest. I did not lock into when we picked this up. But we might as well dick around with it.
Curses puzzle me out. You are guilt-free.
I don't know what sick moveset she has. Seems that she really only has... Like, she's got no weapon, which seems like an out mistake. Okay, that's kind of annoying. We gotta be more proactive here. Do that. Just kind of wait. Do that. There we go. And we get everything she had on her. But she already gave us the stuff from earlier, so there wasn't any real point in doing that, and I don't think she can sell us stuff now, so... Wait, we got Soothing Sunlight. Granted, we don't really need anything that she was selling, but still. Yeah, like, we already got an Idol's Charm off of her, and that armor set was already something she had given us herself, so... What was the point of doing that game? I don't know. Honestly, traitor or not, like, there's just... Like, there's not enough to go off of to want to kill her. She doesn't do anything bad.
A colossal thing with the strength or something playing open the door and venture. Once, people tried to. They thought that in prison they created a towering Bastille. The lost sinner lives deep within the fool.
Alright, let's see. Oh, yeah, we also get the flying feline boots, which just look silly. I don't know about these things existing. If we did use a Firestone, what weapon would we use it on? Use X strong attack, that's jank. I'm gonna see if Dark Drift upgrades with normal or twinkling. They'll consider whether or not I really even think about using it. Uses normal. Yeah, that's not good for it. So we can finally max out that axe. Alright. Let's buy some of our Titanite chunks. We can only afford 3, but hey. Yep, nothing really new here. Alright, now we have to go to the vague east. But I believe the Ruined Fork Road is where we gotta go. And we saw that one place before that was like, produce the symbol of the king, and we couldn't produce anything. No productions. Oh, I got good news for you guys. Something canceled on me, and so I'll be streaming Wednesday too. Like a lot of it, almost all of it. So, good. Anyways, let's equip the Ring of the King. The Ring of the King actually does two things, for the record. It's not just a key. It apparently increases your fire damage AR very slightly. So said my friend, and I have no reason to distrust him. I'm excited to get onto the other Souls games. I just love these games. I'm gonna be honest. My buddies like had like some big... It's funny that my other friends who are fans of the Souls series kind of fucking hate it. But I don't know, I enjoy these games more than I hate them. Even when I get really mad, I'm just... Sometimes I'm glad to feel anything at all these days. But no, I do legitimately love these games. And I don't think that they like necessarily got better and better and better without any steps back, but I do believe that each one is worth playing even as they change things. You know, when we get a bonfire, we should head back to that shaded wood path so we can go talk to Ben Garl, though, because, I keep fucking forgetting. Shrine of Winter, we don't have the thing, we need to keep going in the Shrine of Winter. That's actually something I'm gonna have to look up, is like the DLC key items. Because I don't remember where they are, like, ever. I played through this game every time, and I played this game a lot, and every time I have to just look up, like, okay, where the fuck are the DLC keys? This doesn't seem like it's the right way. This feels like, wait, is it? Here's it? No, this is wrong. Yeah, okay, the right way is the way with the ogre. I forgot. Dang it. I am a fool. But yeah, so the only thing that really can hold us up at this game is, like, again, we have a couple more areas, and we have that whole, like, the whole debacle with getting those souls so we can actually fight Vendrick and kill him in a reasonable amount of time. I'm gonna tell you, we're not getting all of them. Like, automatically, we're gonna be doing, like, half damage to him at best.
Back again. It is my body, you see, and I can sense what happens to it. I do not mourn for it. Good riddance. If you wish for help, summon me. I'm rusty in battle. I cannot lie. I was a hired hand, yes. But we soldiers stared death in the eye together. And for His Highness, I am afraid. But perhaps it's for the best. I was born in Feroza. So when I was born, we were already... Eventually, I've been a cells. All I ever knew was war. What a I am grateful, but such contentment like... Oh, I must... Thank you. Here. Go along.
There you go, we got his hat.
I wasn't, but perhaps.
Yep, and he's still got all the stuff. And Strength Scimitar, which we wouldn't use. Red Rust Sword. Wait, there are swords a straight sword? Dang. Heavy ass straight sword, too. So that's where we can get these. I'm gonna be honest. Alright, this is another thought that I'm having. Throwing items in Souls games. I don't know how. Oh wow, there's the last fire seed too. So I guess it's really fortunate we got there. Our pyromancy can now be maximum efficiency for the run. As good as it's gonna get. I'll remind myself to not actually raise my int next time we go to level up, but just check to see how much it would improve things if we did level it. I do want to talk a bit about magic and like the playstyle of being a mage. It is really weird to me that like sorceries and hexes are the only two types of magic that get like enough of their projectile to actually like clear out areas with them, or even use them for like multiple annoying enemies. It's something that this series is kind of weird about in general. It feels like sorceries get to spam shoot stuff, but hexes are never afforded that same right. It's extra weird in this game when the crossbow and bow are as effective as they are, that this is the case, because yeah, like especially the crossbow, well, just archery. Archery has so many uses compared to spells. It like, oh yeah, you can carry like what, 30 soul arrows in the default casting of it. Like one scroll gets you 30 soul arrows. Yeah, you can have 99 types of like one. Like one bolt. And every bolt you can have 999 of, so you know, that's a lot of casting. Aldia's Keep is a pretty cool area. Sadness ahead. Wait a second. Where is she? Lucatiel's supposed to show up here. I thought I exhausted her dialogue in Black Gulch. But that's weird, because I exhausted her dialogue well, I didn't exhaust her dialogue in the tower, and she still showed up in Black Gulch, so... Very strange that she picks now of all times to make her absence, because this is her last appearance, is when she shows up here. The Dark Wraith mask in this game looks really goofy. It looks like a Halloween mask, not a not quite like the Dark Wraiths of old. Anyways, Lucatiel shows up here. When she shows up, she goes like, "Hey, another fire seed." She goes, I'm losing myself. I'm forgetting everything. Please remember my name, because I'm fucking losing it." And then she just kind of pisses off, and that's the end of that, really. I believe she has more pleasant things to say if you actually complete her side quest, and she'll give you her sword. Banhart of Jugo, the other guy who follows the same kind of pattern of summon them repeatedly to finish their quest and get their stuff. Banhart of Jugo has much less going on. He's just kind of a warrior, allegedly a veteran from the giant conflict. But, like, what's going on with him? You know, he... Also, the fact that Lucatiel gives up the ghost on finding her brother and not really remembering her quest. Kind of ironic given that he's right here. Don't worry, Lucatiel, I did it. Yeah, she'll never know that you did this and, you know, fix the whole problem. Man, that sunlight blade noise sure is neat. Yeah. Next thing. I don't know if that does anything. But fun fact, if you turn left here and flip that switch, there's a reason there's so many messages. Oh, you know what? Good. These are not player messages, they're just things. Yeah. Do not flip that switch. Why not flip that switch? Go this way, and you'll have your answer.
Well, you're nicely hollowed, aren't you? Are you tormented by memories? Burdened by guilt? Now the question, are you ready for more? This, long ago, this naive vessel of mine set about devising new spells. The fool dreamt of bringing new forms of magic into the world, but instead, he created me. Mostly by chance, but he did a fine job, I must say. What he sought was strength, and so I decided to demonstrate. While my vessel slept, I'd find my mark and hunt him down, but my vessel did not approve. And so while I slept, he sealed the both of us away. No, I don't have anything against humans. But how is it that you go about defining good and evil? I'm only using what the gods gave me. How can that be so wrong? So what say you to a spot of murder on my behalf? If you don't, I'll leave this place and take more lives. Many more. I couldn't give a fig either way, so what's your choice?
Sure.
As I see, I want you to kill a merchant named Gilligan. A greedy, foul man. He won't be missed, I assure you. Is the only person who'd have such an odd knick-knack. This is mine.
Yep, we already got. That's why you have to buy the ladder miniatures just for this quest.
Target will be Kale. While I was trapped in here, he touched me, that maniac. Like I was some rare specimen. He wore a strange... Yet perhaps... I want... Bring...
Yep, anyways. I'm gonna check something because I've never actually tried this to see if it works this way. Let's try out our cool Ring of the Dead.
I want...
Dang it. It would be so cool if this ring actually had like a mechanical purpose. Wasn't just fashion souls. Anyways, so if you pull that lever, you will free him, and if you free him, he just invades you repeatedly, and he's an annoying ass mage invader. It's not really something that you should make yourself like tolerate. Just don't do it. It's much easier than not doing it, and you miss out on the side quest if you do it. I suppose you could do the side quest fully and then free him. If you aren't hollowed and talk to him, you... this might be a mimic, actually. Okay. I gotta remember I'm in Aldia's Keep, and there's like every type of weirdo enemy in here. Also, he's got Looking Glass Knight mirrors for some reason. That was bizarre. How'd that happen? I don't know why they're not reacting too fast. I don't remember them being this hopeless. Hey, whatever works. I do think this animation's cool, even though they seem like they're not centered properly, or maybe it's just a trick of my eyes. I have no idea why it's not doing a backstab, but whatever. Petrified Dragonbone and Northern Ritual Band. I believe Northern Ritual Band gives us a lot more spells. Okay, increased spells usage or reduces HP. Depending on how much that is, that could be fine. Bright Bug. Bright Bug's okay. Okay, Northern Ritual Band plus having all of our slots with lightning bolts. I will say, it's a shame that we killed that one lady because, yeah, it would be nice to have more lightning bolts than we do. Ouch. I know we can do that. Alright, so why do this? Why free this fella? Because it doesn't seem like there's anything here, right? I mean, we can get to the stairs, but we could already go up there. Well, let's see if we can get him to follow us. And you'll find out what he's for. Or at least what I think he's for. Come on. Or maybe he's not for it. Maybe he just can't do it. The shaking carriages can be broken by a sufficiently large attack from a creature, so I assumed he was the key, but apparently not. We'll just do this to him because it's kind of funny. Actually, we'll finish him off now. Dragon Acolyte Mask. Okay, I guess that's what we get out of it. Actually, you know what? The Dragon Acolyte Mask is pretty sick. I do actually enjoy the look of it. See, that's neat. Interesting mask. Turns you into a fucking marble. This Basilisk. Voted most likely Basilisk to just beat you to death because it's massive and, you know, can attack physically. Damn, I didn't know they threw it back like that. Crimson Water thing. Well, we have, wait, shit ton of Fragrant Branch. Oh, we have 2 more. Well, I'm sure they'll give us something, so we might as well. The DLCs never require any Fragrant Branches unless I'm just forgetting a particularly cruel joke. Elizabeth Mushroom, Wilted Dusk Herb. That sucks. I might as well use it here too. Okay, I do believe we are out of need of them. I could be wrong. Bonfire Stack. I mean, useful item if you're doing certain things, but we're not, so. Wait, hang on. That's a prank lever. I believe all pulling this does is make you fucking douse yourself in flames. Or not, okay. Why am I misremembering this just like spitting fire at you? exchanges door opening. Okay. Yep, now we've got a regular old menagerie. Let's equip a bow. Dang, he's not real. Only the finest fake mimics here. Yeah, the mimic might not be able to break out so easily, but not so for the big man. There's a few things. One, the portraits can be knocked off, revealing the Dragon Acolytes. So yeah, we seriously might need to start buying repair powder, because we are breaking our fucking scimitar constantly. I can't survive some modest adventuring. This also might be a bit where we need to get naked. Alright, yep, there is stuff in there, and we don't want to break our stuff, or we don't want to break our weapons, so. Yep, like previously established, this ground is just weapon degrade juice. Not weapon degrade, armor degrade juice. So long as you're not wearing any rings or armor, you can go in this fine. Basically, every time I go into this, I forget it affects rings too. But... well, I guess for the Petrified Dragon Bone it was okay, but... nothing else in there was particularly worth it. Let's not unhollow yet, because we'll need to... some garbage later. I'll just keep the King's Ring on for now. Efficiency of equipment breakage, that's bloody expensive. Good. We were wearing the Saint... wow, those pants suck. Yeah, we're wearing Saint's trousers. Saint's gloves as well. Or no, we were wearing like some kind of cuff. The Grave fella. Grave whatever skeleton. Bone King. Agonine stuff is better in basically every way, but a little weight. Alba armor and our new funny mask. I do like this mask turning you into a marble though. It's a neat fantasy design. Pharos Lockstone. We haven't needed those in ages either. Anyways, that's locked and it's time to apply some big brain. So because this door is locked, we gotta open it the work harder, not smarter way. I need you to do like an actual attack on the door. I believe that's all we need them for, and if not, there are more, there are more Ulgutters to get. I think there's, one of my friends said they're called Cyclops. I could believe that too. Malformed shell, that's an odd weapon if I remember correctly. Malformed skull, malformed shell. They're both great hammers. This one doesn't scale at all. How bizarre. Yep, that can lead you to the equipment hole. And briefly check if there was like another door I thought needed busted down. I mean, doesn't seem like it, so we can just proceed as normal. Yeah, there's just kind of more monsters behind the other things. I mean, maybe this door could be busted down by an ogre, but I don't think so. He went a little farther than I thought he would. Let's lead him away from the thing, because again, all those carriages contain are more enemies. That was a bit of a mistake. And there we go. You can also use one ogre to free the other ogre, and that makes it more of a problem. Then there's just a lot of them running around. Do we need them to break those doors? Better question, is there anything in those doors I care about? I think I would remember if there was. Oh, we're out to use Sunlight Blade. Ambush fatty ahead. Oh, it's just another door that's gonna be smashed through. Gets funnier every time. Here, let's actually take him to the locked door to see if we need them to smash every locked door. Alright, well, I was proven wrong, and also I probably should have figured that we were gonna get cornered and crushed there by doing that. Oh well. Alright. That's still fine because it gives us a chance to warp back to Jula. Also, another thought I would like to mention, on side quests in Souls games, I think they're kind of annoying. Like, some of them, like, side quests in Souls games have neat stories, but the rewards are almost always just some specific weapon or, like, armor that may or may not be useful to you on your current run. So that's problem one. Problem two is that they're almost always like some bullshit. I thought Kale was supposed to be here by now. Seriously, still in the fucking forest of giants. But I mentioned the side quest thing because I am reminded that we just didn't do the mild-mannered Pate and Creighton quest. to give you the truncated version of how that goes, Pate is kind of a scumbag, but so is Crichton. Both of them don't seem trustworthy. Ultimately, they fight each other, and you get to pick who comes out on top. I think it's worth picking because you get a unique reward for helping than you do if you just slaughter them, but that's what I recall at least. Alright. So let's go back to the forest because we gotta go talk to Kale so we can continue the little side quest thing. This is probably the easiest way to get that done. Alright, here's a question, and come to think of it. When we were, when we were using the falchion primarily, it almost never broke on us. Why is the scimitar, like, constantly at risk after, like, long periods of exploration? And I guess there's a simple way to find that out. 5 more durability? Okay. There's gotta be something about the way that... Wait. It's hitting the ground all the time. That's probably what's doing it. Because, like, you can hear the noise of it hitting the ground, whereas... Yeah, like... Is it because this hits the ground less because the first swipe does? I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay, we just never finished his thing. Okay. Bone out of here then. Yep, we forgot a part of the quest. I don't even remember what the Birderman gives you, but... Yeah, but yeah, Souls Quest. They're often just so tedious. They're like, you can miss one step on a Souls Quest and people just on the internet cannot agree on what the fucking like flag is to trigger them. Again, I think a lot of them are neat, but also there's just some annoying bullshit. Especially because an unclear like flag can lead to an entire quest being like rendered moot and just losing access to like entire items that you may have not wanted for a playthrough.
Made it, of course. I was... Mira is also the home of an infamous killer, a knight in name alone. He was locked in the dungeon and the other day, and then, well, no, I believe his name was Cray. They shared.
Yeah, Creighton. That's the thing. The only person who tells you Pate is an asshole is Crichton. Whereas...
Did you see it? It seems to fulfill something something... It was blocked, but it was crumbling. Did you see? It wasn't... It's...
I guess maybe we need to reset it for dialogue. Does the skeleton respawn? No, it doesn't. So I don't know what he's crying about. But yeah, the Crichton and Pate quest, it's kind of whatever. Again, it feels obvious to me that Pate might be like kind of a douchebag, but Crichton's probably most likely an actual murderer. Whereas Pate is more like a Patches type. Like a bastard, but not one who will just gut you for the anger of it. I don't know. I think I know where I want to stop today. I don't know if we're gonna get there like smoothly. Oh, I forgot this. An extra Ferrous Lockstone. Because we're really hurting for those.
Did you? It seems to.
Huh. Okay, speaking of fucking unclear triggers, you don't have to kill Kale for the quest. You're supposed to be able to talk to him and say, hey, give me your hat, because some guy wants you dead. Or whatever. Again, I think he just gives you like a Hexer staff or something. It's not that important. Just go back to Aldia's Keep and unhollow so we can talk to the other version of the guy. Because all this is just very unimportant for what we got going on. Humanity restored. Also, I believe we can buy more copies of Sunlight Blade from Strayed now, which would be pretty useful again, given one is a little strict. We can also buy the ring from that makes our spell effects last longer. You know, combine the two things, make it to where Sunlight Blade will actually last us full boss fights instead of like petering out most of the way into one. Another thing is it does kind of lower the purpose of dual wielding. Not that dual wielding has become purposeless all of a sudden. It is just like, you know, we're really laying our hopes and dreams on one scimitar. I've also kind of decided, I think I know what weapon I would put the fire on. The other scimitar. Because I've discovered something about myself. I don't think I like the Power Stance curved sword moveset all that much. Oh, I want the Partisan as a pure example, and like Partisan can do every damage type we need. I think that whatever got the fire, like whatever weapon got the fire enchantment, it would just be, oh yeah, this is for when lightning's not the best, even though I don't know any instance where lightning is not the best. Again, I've heard that fire is kind of a bad damage type, all things considered. Alright, let's just juice up our blade. And there he does this. Alright, this fight. Got a bad case of the Dark Souls dragon fight, in which this fight is just boring. Oh wow, look at that, he's flying again. A really good showcase of our lightning blade when we just couldn't hit him for most of it. But yeah, just every time he runs in, like he flies in the air, just run in a direction, and then he can't hit you with his fireball or his fire breath. Yeah, he's boring and kind of sucks. But he also does this, which is really neat. Yeah, this fight blows. The area preceding it wasn't even like hard or difficult or anything. It was kind of like, just kind of there. I was gonna say, he might actually kill me because of his fucking landing on me attack. But now it's no longer a concern. Yeah, Guardian Dragon. I promise you it's not just because he's weak to lightning, he is just that bad. Also, I'm pretty sure that was still a wyvern and not a dragon, but you know, what do I know? So now with Aldia Keep done, with a dragon scale gotten? Is that like a... Yeah. It's what you take to the Dragon Covenant. I don't really remember how you do that. I mean, I guess it's probably with the Ancient Dragon, but I'm not certain. Oh, the other thing the guy will want after you are requested to kill Kale is just like, I want you to kill the Emerald Herald. I want you to kill the level up lady. But again, like Kale, you don't actually have to kill him. You can just get an item off of him. Off of him. Off of her. And it's like, alright. 8. Miss Herald is about to give us, like, big lore drop soon, so that's cool. The Dragon Area. This area is kind of funny to me because there's about as much of or as little exploration as you want here.
Bearer of the curse, long have I awaited one such as you. One who might shatter the shackles of fate. One who can set me free. Bearer of the curse. It was my own manifestation that led you here. The ancient dragon has watched over the world for eons past. Take this.
Yep, the feather. The feather is what the guy wants. He's like, get me that fucking feather and I'll do it. Also, the feather is just an infinite homeward bone, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, you can, there's a lot of like winding paths and whatever in this area. You can fight a shit ton of dragons. You can make this area really suck if you break enough dragon eggs. Wow. I cannot believe I've been pranked in this way. All of my fucking around with the fragrant branches led to that punchline. Not being able to go that way. Well, luckily I don't believe it's plot critical or anything, but I am a little disappointed that 2 bonfire selects I'll never use are just gonna drive me nuts, because now I don't know what's that direction. At least I got the cool Dragon Acolyte mask. That one was worth it. Also, this would just murder your hands. I can't even... Ugh. Just so we don't have to see that, we're gonna wear actual, like, gauntlets for a second. Or at least gloves. Get some nice leather gloves. Anyways, yeah. I believe... Yeah, you can just run straight to the end here. It's so weird how, like, obviously side path it is. Also, if you piss off the dragons, they'll break the ladder... break the rope bridge while you're doing this. Very cinematic. Very scary. Shrek, I'm looking down. But you don't actually have to piss around too much here. The Dragon Shrine, home to the fucking... Oh yeah, we get Aldia Mini. Yeah.
I seem to share your fate. Now, I only wish an answer. Seek the truth. Seek light, dark, and what lies beyond.
Yeah, Aldia just kind of shows up to waste a little bit of your time and spit lore at you. But really, it just kind of comes down to more vagaries on light, dark. He seems to imply that there's something greater, but such a thing doesn't really exist. Also, these dragon dudes just bow to you We get more fights with recolored ancient soldiers. These ones have magic. Also give nearly 2,000 souls, so that's pretty good. More bonfire aesthetics, yeah, so now I'm extra, don't really care about the other one. But yeah, these enemies are rather peaceful. They will not attack you unless you fuck with them or something else. We'll get into what that or something else is later. But yeah, keep in mind every dragon guy you see, and then imagine how bad it would be if they all wanted to whoop your ass. That's our little thought experiment. Just kind of like keep a tally of that. There's 2 more. I don't know if these guys have like unique versions of their weapon they drop. Also, yep, another strike damage moment. The only complaint I'll have is because the partisan does a sweep and then a stab, you kind of lose the benefit of the strike. Like, you can't repeatedly hit him with the strike damage. Yeah, it's the final area to go to. I just want to check and make sure there's nothing I missed. There is a boss fight at the end of this area, but it is completely optional. I'll tell you that much. And thank goodness it is, because it's the worst fucking boss fight in the series, I think. Like, I'll go out on a limb and just declare it so. Some might think it's something else, but I'm putting it here. Anyways, yep, again, imagine if all of these are hostile to you. But one is this fucking Mad Lad power stancing ultra great swords. Or just normal great sword. I think those are just normal great swords, actually. Ouch. Damn, I wanted to fucking parry him. I thought it'd be sick. I suppose if you don't do the optional boss fight, you can consider this the true boss fight of the area. Wow. But yeah, even more dudes. So, I'll tell you what triggers their aggro, other than just, like, beating them up. It's trying to beat the boss. If you try and beat the boss, they'll run you down, and luckily, you are able to just run past all of them, but it is quite scary. This fight is balls. And dragon noises. And so be it, for the curse of life is the curse of want, and so you peer into the fog in hope of answers. And we gain the Ashen Mist Heart. So, what we do is we take the Ashen Mist Heart and we use that to get more Souls of the Giants by peering into memories in various areas. Every Soul of a Giant, as established, makes the damage resistance of King Vendrick go down until he's actually tolerable to kill. Then you kill Vendrick, and then you end the game. Yep, we're officially, like, there are no new areas to explore. We're kind of done. Like, no new, like, big biome areas. Reason the Ancient Dragon sucks, let's cover it. The Ancient Dragon hits like a son of a bitch, has one-shot fire breath that requires you to, at a moment's notice, completely clear the field to the other side of the arena. It is tedium incarnate. He has too much HP, he does too much fucking damage. you have to play super carefully, barely getting any like scratch damage in, while he constantly looms a one-shot over you. He is like what people think every Dark Souls, like if you ask like some Tom, Dick, or Stanley about the Soul series, he's what they think the boss fights are like. It's just a horrifically unfun fight, more than anything else. Oh, just a random summon. But yeah, I do not like the Ancient Dragon. He's a fight that I still haven't beaten. Like, probably the only Souls fight that I will never... not the only one, because there's some other ones in this game, too, that I'm not fond of in the slightest. Like, just even conceptually, I don't care for him. Wow, even through his guard it did that much? Can you please stop? Can you please stop fucking backing up and doing your shield bash, you colossal twat? Okay, you know, you have a hammer, right? You know, like a weapon in your hand. You have one. Yeah, you have a weapon, dude. A weapon. There you go. Wow. Use your fucking weapon so we can get this shit over with. Okay, Drake Keeper. Okay, so they do have their own armor and whatever. Okay, this. Yeah, there's a lot of very optional exploration in this area. Oh, the third dragon ring. I believe the dragon rings are all very good. Increases... Yeah, it's like the FAP ring of yesteryear. The ring of favor and protection. It's just... increase, very good stats to increase, and also... Okay, he's way weaker to pokey than strike. Fair enough. This might be my favorite iteration of the Partisan. It still felt kind of slow and ass in Dark Souls 1. And in Dark Souls, I haven't tried it in 3, but in Elden Ring it's just kind of like redundant with a better Partisan that exists. A Partisan that works more like this one. Petrified Egg. Wait, we just stole that shit? What does that even do? No, what does that do though? I don't know. I haven't done like much of this stuff here because I'm not a Dark Souls 2 expert. It's not my thing. And again, I've played the games a lot, but I'll say that's their thing. I mean, the first time I ever went to Ash Lake was the stream playthrough of DS1. Like I never went to Ash Lake before. Until my most recent playthrough of DS3, I had never gone to like the whole dragon thing. I didn't know where the fucking Nameless King was. And after I did the fight with him, I gotta say, kind of overhyped. But yeah, we have the ability to go collect some giant souls. I'm gonna just have to Google between streams where the fuck they all are, because I know there's like 2 or 3 in the Forest of Fallen Giants, because that would make sense. Oh yeah, the reason we're not getting all of them, you get one for beating the Ancient Dragon, and the Ancient Dragon is not fucking worth it. Vendrick with a bit more damage resist than he should have is way more palatable than doing a boss fight the other way. Alright, let us do some. We don't really want to do levels yet. Also, I tend to cap my level at like 120, like 150. I think that's like a PvP level. It might not be. It might be 125, but. Alright, let's buy enough Titanite chunks to upgrade something. It's probably gonna be the Partisan, honestly.
Well, risk me again.
What? How goes? Take thee.
Alright, I forgot about grabbing that.
Don't spend your whole
Also, there's a whole thing where she's obviously his daughter, but he can't remember. Like, neither of them can quite remember each other, but they do at least remain in close proximity to each other, implying, like, some degree of awareness. Anyways, let's start reinforcing stuff. So, my main thought is we can get the falchion all the way up and have that as an option, but that's a little really boring. I'm trying to think. So the fire longsword is our like fire damage option right now. And we could just go with that. Because a lot of this stuff isn't being used, really. It really comes down to, do we want to fully upgrade... Actually, the ones that are like in the running right now, the Uchigatana, the Partisan, the Halberd, or the Haidnite sword. Like, they're the only ones that are like in serious contention for being fully upgraded. Falchion would be whatever to fully upgrade, just because, you know, we already use a good curved sword. We don't really need another one that much. Oh, we should also fully upgrade the Dragon Spear while we're at it. Yeah, I'm thinking we use the Partisan more than anything else. I think we just go ahead and get that one all the way up. And we still have souls. Oh, how much is in a Great Hero soul? Pretty good. Yeah, I think could do Dark Drift. Its damage will probably suck though. It's also way more fragile than the Uchi, which makes it much less practical. Yeah, Dark Drift's kind of neat, but fuck that. Let's see. Wait, we have 6 chunks? That's enough to fully upgrade something else, yeah. Alright, also let's slab that. So, Halberd is a unique option for us. One of the long swords could also be a unique option for us. I don't know. I think straight sword kind of a boring shtick. I think it's gotta be the Halberd or the Uchi. The Uchi is at least like more in line with our playstyle than the other thing. I say we do the Halberd. Yep. I don't know if she ever gets more chunks in, but it is a little annoying if she doesn't. Alright, the other thing, let's sort the box. We've got one boss fight I want to do, and then I'm going to lay down and stop the stream. Let's get rid of, again, the items that just suck and are useless. In case this Maven kind of died, unfortunately for us. Same thing with the Murakuma. I'm gonna say it, I like curved great swords, but I had a whole run where I was mostly using them. And I do think they kind of fell off to an extent later on, so I'm not too interested. Man, I really should have upgraded the dagger and like actually tried to mess around with using it. Again, we'll see if we can get more chunks. For now, yeah, like I said, there is a boss fight we can do right now, and we might as well do it right now. By going back to the... Yeah, so, actually I want to make this clear. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that all these areas are just DLC stuff, unless there's just some area we didn't discover that's optional. Unless you can... No, there's no way there's one or I'm thinking of. So, that being said, the base game is basically done. It's just go get the Giant Souls, go kill Vendrick, and then go to the final boss. Like, the only thing keeping us from doing the final boss is that Vendrick is still alive. We don't even... Like, technically, we don't even need to get the Giant Souls. In fact, I might give it another shot next stream with just full bleed weapon just to see if I could do it. Like if I really optimized the bleed thing. I think that could be interesting. Again, it would still take fucking forever. Maybe even an upgraded shield would be nice because he only swings like one at a time, so like as long as we can absorb the majority of it. Alright, next thing. One last thing I want to check is that whole Strayed potentially selling something to us. I want it. Also, instead of the Chloranthy, we could just unequip the King's Ring when it comes to it. Instead of the Chloranthy, especially, we're gonna do the 3rd Dragon Ring. Doesn't increase our load that much. Honestly, if this can be changed off, yeah, we get the same percentage of weight, and we're decently loaded up, so yeah, maybe do it like that. And the HP increase isn't that much, but eh. Let's trade just to see what else we got. Weapon that wouldn't be good for us. Oh wait, none of these seem new. Maybe this is. Well, it's kind of old new. Yeah, nothing particularly special here. Oh, Sacred Oath. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sacred Oath is pretty good. We want that. Neither of these are good. I guess Toxic Mist could be okay, actually. But if you were into using poison, but we're not gonna do. Also, might as well pick up the hood. Let's see. Yeah, you can summon. We can now get Great Lightning Spear, which is just Lightning Spear, but it really fucking hurts. And given it has the same amount of uses as the other one, that might be worth considering. And then we also have very expensive Sunlight Blade. So yeah, we can get more Sunlight Blades from him. We can get one more Sunlight Blade from him. Alright. Fair enough. The fact that there are two, like, that there's not a convenient bonfire to artifacts also sucks, but again, I don't think... We're kind of loaded up at this point. I don't think there's any weapon that we're gonna get just for the DLC. Unless it's specifically a DLC weapon. Even then, that's not happening. There's some cool DLC weapons, but they're either really annoying to get, or more realistically, I'll get them and I'll be like, yeah, that's kind of novel and cool, but we're not using it. Did I upgrade the Uchi? Did I? No, I didn't do Uchi. I did the halberd and the what? The partisan and the halberd. Yeah, so where is this? Equipped as we're gonna get. There we go. It's just taking a while. So this is the way to the final boss, but actually, this is the weirdest thing about this whole little rigmarole. This is the way to the final boss, but you don't need to, Oh, that was the ring we took off, the covetous silver serpent ring. So those guys could have given us even more. Guess increasing poise couldn't be that bad. Actually, just use the bracing knuckle ring because of our, you know, breaking our fucking scimitar all the time. Granted, it's not that useful for boss fight, that's more of an exploration thing, so we'll just keep that in mind. Let's do that, I suppose. We don't really have like another combat ring that I'm really feeling. Is that maybe? I don't know if enemies have poise exactly. But yeah, sure, that's the closest we're gonna get to like good here. Yeah, you can come in earlier. Actually, like during one of my playthroughs, I was like kind of just playing through the game quickly. You know, not really like trying to linger too much, not really like smell the roses, just, you know, get in, get out, quick and dirty run of the game. And I actually did come here, did this fight, and then I was just standing around like after the boss, like, all right, we want to get to the end now. You can summon for this fight, and honestly, if it's coming from the heart, I fucking recommend it. I think this fight is worse without summons, but we're gonna try and do it without because we haven't done summons the whole time. It would feel really weird to do it now. This fight is Shitty Ornstein and Smough. Throne Watcher and Throne Defender. That was some cool range. Yeah, same kind of principle as Ornstein and Smough. You want to separate them. Except they have the worst decision I've ever seen in my life. Who thought Ornstein and Smough needed shields? Like, also they buff up when they're low at a certain point. Okay, our damage is fucking nuts. I will say, technically, you could argue that Smough kind of had a shield. Also, the fact that she's not dead is discouraging. Oh, he's gonna revive her. Hang on. How much health? All of it. That's fucked up. So she's in her buff state and has all of her health back. That's wild. These guys must be either very weak to lightning or just kind of weak in general. Okay, at least her buff goes away. Which is good, because mine did. Okay, when you can just manhandle them, that fight's not actually that bad. I don't know, every other time I've done this fight, I think it sucks majorly. But I guess with Sunlight Blade, we just did so much damage to him that it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, that was the boss fight I wanted to show off. Now you've seen it. Yay. Well, let's end off stream on something else then, because that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would, because I thought it was going to take me a few tries. Yeah, anyways, my main takeaway from it is I don't like the shield. I think they'd be more interesting if they didn't. But really, despite how like easily we blitz through them, my main problem is that I just feel like fundamentally, let's say we're doing that as a low level run or whatever, we weren't as strong as we are now. My main issue with that fight is it misses all of the things that makes Ornstein and Smough like workable, like the strategy behind it. There's no pillars to get them stuck on, there's no terrain to separate them, it's just an open arena. They have shields, which means that you have to like constantly angle for the opening on them, which is way more difficult when there's two of them up. We are lucky that we got them like as easily as they did, because like when they're just one-on-ones, they're whatever fights, but together they're a pain in the ass. That's why I also would was recommending summoning for it, because, you know, your summon can mitigate the fact that it's a one-on-one by making it a two-on-two. It won't be a one-on-one anymore. I'm an idiot. Why am I speaking so poorly? Anyways, also, I forgot, after we killed those ogres, we should go talk to this lady.
You have proven yourself to the forest. We have little to offer, except perhaps these. May they bring fortune.
The ogre on the trail. You get the worst weapon in the game. It doesn't scale. It sucks. You can technically make it do damage, but only at a point in the game where you can make anything do damage. I thought in Myths and Legends that it was actually like secretly a weapon that once infused was like sicko mode crazy, and that's not the case. So I didn't explain it, but the mundane infusion, what it does is it makes your weapon scale with your lowest stat. And the thing is, and that is a nearly useless, I actually read, that is probably the worst infusion by far. Unless you are max level and have cap stats. In which case, yeah, sure, whatever. But at that point, anything would be good. So that's kind of the problem with mundane, is it's only like a dick around infusion. Oof, that was close. Also, one of my buddies mentioned something. Lighting every torch actually does something kind of neat and novel. And I didn't know about it, so we're gonna do it. Also, I didn't try putting on the Forlorn hood to really try that one out. Or did I not buy it? I could have sworn I bought it. Yeah, Hood of the Forlorn. Not nearly as cool as the Black Dragon mask, or Dragon Acolyte mask. It's just kind of a black version of that hood we were already wearing. So yeah, while we're lighting torches, main reason we came back here is I just kind of thought about the torch thing secondarily. Main reason we're here is to do our gacha pulls of our petrified somethings and whatnot. One over there. Also, I'm gonna say that the secret with these torches, I think, is kind of silly and not super. I don't know. Maybe there's a item reward for it, but from what my friend said, it was just like, from what I know happens, it doesn't seem like that much of anything. Torch by the coffin. But yeah, those non-respawning Cyclops / ogres are what gets you the shitty ladle. Joke weapons. I'm actually in the Soul series. I'm kind of don't really mind them. Like, obviously, it sucks when you don't get, like, a really cool, unique weapon, but I always feel like joke weapons were never supposed to replace that. It's always weird to me, like, I guess it's another thing when it comes to, like, roster slots. When people talk about, like, how Dr. Mario in Smash Bros. Is a wasted slot or whatever, or, like, just any XYZ character here, it's always odd to me, because I think it's like, it was happening a lot in Smash 4, and I think Sakurai even, like, said this, but it's so obvious that characters, like clone fighters, they don't take nearly as much development time to make as a fully fleshed out goober. So of course they're not stealing someone's roster space. There wasn't gonna be anyone else but them. Okay, surely this is the last torch, right? Yep, there we go. And that's what it does. It summons a forlorn fella. Using a bastard sword? And we get a petrified something. Okay, so the reward tied into the gambling. Alright, let's start throwing it. Yeah, shut up. Also, didn't mention this, the Throne Defender and Throne Watcher Soul, as well as Velstelts, were, like, darkness. They use the same type of soul that Artorias had. Can we just, like, leave in bulk? Kind of, but we can't do it on the exact same spots. It's kind of pointless. Oops. Why can you even use them on yourself? Cracked Blue Eye Orb. Okay, that's nothing. Titanite Chunk. Hey! Soul of a Proud Knight, whatever. Gambling, gambling, gambling. You think they give me something for the... No, we can't leave the egg. I remember I tried to leave it because I was curious if that might be what it was for. Okay, let's see what we get. Divine Blessing. Titanite Chunk, yay! Titanite Chunk, yeah! Titanite Chunk, yeah! Oh, we're big winners. That's huge. You know, it's funny, I would never think this in any other circumstance but this game, but I would actually, like, really enjoy if we had King Sinker Frompt with us. Because, sorry, let me go find it. Your boy could really use these turned into chunks, because I think we have more slabs than we could, like, than we would ever need for what we want to do. Titanite Slab. Speaking of which, Demon's Great Hammer again. Petrified Dragon Bone, irrelevant. Titanite Slab again. Even more slabs. Yeah, I wish we could break them down, because holy shit, we do not need this many. It's too many. Go back to Majula real fast so we can, like, max out our one upgrade. Actually, I'm just gonna do, like, some very quick, very quick, bookkeeping stuff before we wrap up. Which namely do this, buy the thing from Strayed, and then sign on out. There we go. Our Pyromancy Flame is now maximum. let's go back to Strayed and just start buying shit off of him. And then when we next come back, we're going to get all the stuff that we need to progress the game to the end, and then we're going to do all the DLCs because I don't want to have to sit through the credits like, and then play the DLCs. That just feels a little wacky. Where the fuck? Alright. That's the wrong one. Oh, you stupid bitch. Stupid asshole. Let's see. I also like consider making a weapon, like buying a Firestone and making a weapon, a fire weapon, but I just don't know which one it would be. It's like, I don't really think any of them would be super better off that way. Like maybe the halberd would be fine, because the halberd's just something we use for its high damage, not its damage type, but... Let's see. You might as well get this stuff too. Maybe the armor of the Forlorn's actually like sick, nasty looking. Anyways, Lingering Dragon Crest ring, which we need, those don't matter to us. And go ahead and grab big ass bolt in case we level up enough to use it. Grab these while we're at it. Resplendent Life, whatever. What is? Slayer stores a large amount. We're not holding any. Might as well. Unveil just gives you more. But nearest enemy armor beings. That's odd. That's an odd one. I thought it was going to be the one that made more messages appear. And then, just in case, let's Soul the Brave Warrior up. Get a feeling you might ask more. Demon of Song Soul could give us a whip that breaks real fast. It does do poison. And otherwise, it's not looking like there's anything new here. Yep, Throne Watcher and Throne Defender just don't seem to give us anything from him. So it would be artifacts, but again, there is no way that a random weapon is going to make it into our inventory. We're mostly just checking on that for posterity. We were there to buy the spells. Speaking of which, let's just quickly attune them, because now we can kind of achieve our our final form is what? That take 4 fucking slots? That is insane. Is it that good? Well, whatever. What else could we put on? I guess we could become Lightning Man, get 6 bolts, but honestly, I'm just more likely to use buff spells than anything, so I think we use Resplendent Life. Okay. If we've got buff spells and... like, again, if we need to do... Actually, you know, speaking of which... Wait, Titanite chunks. I think I know something else I want to upgrade. Before we wrap it up. We have 4. Oh, that's rough. I'm kind of at an impasse. I don't know if I want to upgrade the bow more or upgrade the crossbow more. Because I think the bow probably has like a way higher ceiling than this does. Especially because we are Dex. Like we've invested into Dex. I think the normal bow will do more damage. Like, yeah, it loses the offhand utility though, but... I don't know, it's... It is hard to say. Oh yeah, that's 30,000, not 3,000. So let me also buy the Firestone. Buy Fire Drake Stone, maybe we'll use it later, maybe we won't. Yeah, it's... I mean, let me do a quick damage check and then I'll think about it. I also kind of want to upgrade the longsword. But it's probably best just make the halberd fire and that be our fire damage, like, rep. Alright, let us equip the bow and the crossbow and then do some thinking. Crossbow's, oh sorry, the bow is lighter. That's the wrong bow. Yeah, I mean, it says here bow's doing like comparable physical AR, so it's probably best to just up the bow. We kind of have to act as if we won't get enough chunks to upgrade both of them later, so we're just gonna do this. Who gets the last chunk? I think it just goes priority of like weapon type we're not already using. We are Chime, but I don't know if that improves our thing that much. High Knight Sword's basically going to be used in any situation. The Scimitar would be good on Dagger. You know what? We need to remember the power of Dagger. Yeah, we'll keep that around for now. Okay. Hopefully we gain access to more chunks. Even if, like, I don't know how we get them, but I do want to upgrade other things because we have all those fucking slabs at this point. But yeah, that we got pretty far. Again, not covering all the side quests, not covering like literally everything. We're not even gonna do all the DLC bosses because, spoiler alert, I think Sunken City and the winter ones, optional boss fights are fucking miserable and not even worth doing, so we're not gonna do them. It's what they are too that's just extra. Like, just conceptually they suck. But that's a tale for later. For now, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking out the VOD, if that's the way you're seeing it. Next time we come back, it'll probably just be a marathon of Souls 2 until the end. Just covering, again, relatively quickly, covering the DLCs. Except for Ivory King, that one's gonna take long no matter what I want to do about it. But yeah, I will see you all next time.